Hi, I'm Lindsay from Lit with Lens, and today I wanted to talk to you about the steps I take to teach my students the argumentative writing process, because I think this is really important, especially in the middle grade years, and especially as the Common Core standards have uh, been implemented. So, first of all, what I normally do is read a sample student essay, and this year I found, or in the past years, I've found great samples of this from achievethecore.com. As you can see, they have several options and for all grade levels, so it's just a great resource to use. Also, after I've gone through and read the sample essay, I go through each paragraph from the intro to the body paragraphs and the conclusion, and I walk through the different steps. And I color code each type of sentence or each type of information that's needed. For example, the hook is in blue, of course, and then the background information, and then your thesis with your 3 reasons and your claim I highlighted in red. And I use these color-coded strategies so that my students can remember, oh, well, I know that the thesis statement is in red, so I can automatically look at that and see. And I can also identify the 3 reasons as well as the claim. And then I go through each step. So then I begin talking about the body paragraph, and I make sure that we introduce the reason and discuss the different supporting evidence. And I also point out that, as you can see, the majority of the paragraph is going to be your supporting evidence. So it's really important that you have that proof of information to support your reason. And then, of course, your concluding statement. So I go through that with each paragraph. And then in the third body paragraph, I like to also acknowledge the opposing claim. And I have them do something very brief with this, just to acknowledge the opposing side, and then explain as to why that side isn't the one that you should promote or that you should go with. And then my final paragraph, of course, is your conclusion, where you have your lead-in statement. I suggest to my students not to begin right off the bat with restating the thesis, but instead begin with a lead-in statement and then move into where you restate your thesis. And I also mention that it's important not to use the same exact thesis statement that you did before, that you want to reword it and not use the same one that you used in the intro paragraph. So although it's going to say pretty much or have the same meaning, you want it to be worded a little differently. And then, of course, you want to end with your concluding statement. So after I've gone through all these paragraphs and the different parts, I have them practice. And I use another sample essay, which I found on Achieve the Core. And I begin and have them break each paragraph down and break the different parts down, the hook, the background sentence, the thesis statement. And then do the same with the body paragraphs, where they identify the reason, the pieces of supporting evidence, as well as the concluding statement. And of course, I have them do that with each body paragraph, as you can see. And then the concluding statement or the concluding paragraph, the lead-in sentence, the restating of the thesis, and then concluding statement. Because that gives them an idea of, again, the different parts that you need to include in your essay, as well as even more so in each paragraph. And that has proven to really help them to understand this a lot better than in the past. And then as I kind of hone in on the different paragraphs more in depth, I start to work on the different hooks, different ways that different strategies they can use to grab the reader's attention. And this is a little matching game where they drag and drop the correct type of attention grabber with the correct definition. And then I give them a chance to work on different hooks with the same topic, just to practice using different hooks. And then they get to practice doing their own introduction paragraph as well as their own body paragraphs and concluding paragraph. And then they put it all together on the last slide. But this just, again, gives them a great idea of the different steps that are necessary and the different parts that you need to include to create a strong argumentative essay. And I hope that helps you as well. Thank you for listening today.